All right, let's keep the train rolling down. Next, we had a fight of great consequence between the champion Alexandre Pantoja and Brandon Royval. Alexander Pantoja wins by unanimous decision. Mark, how did you have the fight?
You want to take this one
Score.
first, or you want to keep pitching them to me?
I'll pitch this one to you. I'll take the next one first.
All right. Alexandre Pantoja, the way he comes out of the gate is something to behold. He is just scary when that bell first rings. He's like a dog trying to eat in there, and he brought the pace and the craziness to Royval that Royval normally brings, and I feel like he set the tone for the whole fight in that first round. He just was overwhelming him. And he also reminded Royval again who the better grappler is. He got a lot done in that round in the mental aspect of things, I think, because Royval really had no success in any area. And I think he went back to his corner feeling very much like, well, fuck, that didn't go well. And round two was more of the same. You know, for those first two rounds, there just seemed to be such a power difference. And I don't just mean punching power, but like power of movement. Everything Pantoja did had Royval moving backwards. Every step he took made Royval like take a little stumble backwards. Whereas Pantoja defensively would just get his hands up and move his head and stand his ground. Like there was nothing Royval was doing that was backing Pantoja up, but everything Pantoja was doing was backing up Royval. Um, in round three, he did have the reset round where you could see the cardio start to fade a little bit. Not the first time we've seen like an off round from Pantoja cardio wise. And all of a sudden in that round, Brandon Royval found his rhythm and was in that fight. And it was like, oh shit. But, you know, props to Pantoja. He knew round three wasn't ideal. And he came out and maybe had his most dominant round in round four that he completely controlled with the grappling. I mean, Royval had a strong 30 seconds to end it, but you know that was about it. And it, think about how good of a grappler Brandon Royval is, and then think about the level that Pantoja must be to be dominating him on the mat the way that he was in that entire round. The dude is really good. And then round five again, the cardio was a bit of a factor again. He started getting stuck on the end of Royval's punches, but you know, he pushed through. He found a way to get a takedown, and he got it done. And he's a great champion, man. He does it all. He can be dominant in many different areas, and if he can shore up that cardio just a little bit more, he's going to be really difficult for anyone to beat.
Yeah, I think the thing that I love about Pantoja is I think the best word that you may have been looking for was intensity, right? Everything he does is at a high level when it comes to intensity.
Yep.
Um, and I think I talked about this last week where both him and Roy Val have ground games that are very good, but the approach to the ground game is very different. Roy Val is a very opportunistic guy. He likes to roll. He likes to feel things out. He likes to go with the flow and kind of catch things as they come. Pantoja is a very, move for move grappler, right? He's very positional in his approach. So he's going to be in one position. He's going to be in that one position properly until he can move over to the next position properly, right? He's not that much of a roller, that much of a scrambler of sorts. And I did think that Pantoja's precision on the ground and his ability to stay defensive and protected on the ground wouldn't allow for Royval to do the ground game that he normally does, that allows him to catch people in submissions and catch people in crazy sweeps and stuff like that. And that's pretty much what we saw. A lot of his game was negated not only on the feet from the striking and the power of Pantoja, but also on the ground just from the position and from what looks like a very heavy top control position. So
Yeah.
um, it was across the board from beginning to end. I thought it was a really dominant performance from Pantoja. Even when he did start to fade, I still thought that he was winning those rounds. I had him winning all 5 rounds. I know some people had Roy Val winning the 5th round. I can see why. I think he looked the best in the 5th round. I still don't think he won the 5th round. But you know, sometimes we can it might seem one way or another just because of how different it looked compared to some of the other rounds. But if we look at the fifth round
Yeah.
just by itself without any of the other rounds, I don't think that Royval won that round. So I had Pantoja winning all 5 rounds. Definitely the rifle winner. Crazy, crazy good performance, I thought, from him. And another one in the book for him, man.
Yeah, the fifth was the only one that I was torn on. As much as I said the third was a down round for Pantoja, I just meant like in comparison to 1, 2, and 4. I do still think he won the third round.
Yeah. All right. Where are we going with Pantoja? I'll go first for this one. So for Pantoja, I was going to give him the winner, obviously, of the Moreno Albazi fight. I feel like at this point, that's, there's not too much craziness going on in flyweight that we can't decipher, and that seems to be the logical next step.
So agree. That's certainly the logical next step. If Albazi beats Moreno, then yes, 100%. Fresh face, clear number one contender. You do that fight. If Moreno wins that fight, I don't know that they jump to do a fourth Pantoja Moreno when Pantoja's already up 3-0. Maybe they will just because Moreno is a sell for them. But if he does win that fight, I think Manel Kopp at least has an outside chance if he beats Mateusz Nicolau coming up in a few weeks here. Like if he ever knocked out Nicolau and killed it on the mic after, and then Moreno won, it wouldn't shock me if he snuck his way in there with an outside chance of sneaking in.
Wow. That would be an interesting, interesting announcement if we ended up seeing it like that. Um, for Royval, I did have the loser of Moreno and Albazi.
Agree, 100%. I think it works either way. He hasn't fought Albazi. It would be dope for him to get his rematch with Moreno since he didn't actually lose that fight. He lost it because of the injury. So yeah, either way, I think that's the move.
Perfect.